offense that they run. Shaftmaster running the show. Who are their favorite weapons there?
It's Jenna Wennis and Taylor Landfair, the outsides. They run this offense through those two. And if they're on, this Minnesota team finds a lot of success.
Ready to get it going here in Maturi Pavilion. There's no place like home. Minnesota's crowd has packed the stands. They are ready to go. Shaftmaster is going to start the serving off for us tonight. Carving it down the line from down, Morgan Lewis.
Getting Morgan Lewis going early on in this game is so important. They become sometimes too reliant on Brooke Nunneveller just because she's so great, but when they can get their opposite going, provides a lot of balance for this Ducks team.
Georgia Murphy's serve. Here comes Brooke Nunneveller. Looking at high hands, we saw a lot of that earlier. Way to dig it out of the net. That's Pukas. Nunneveller again, full reach.
Nunneveller is such a rangy attacker. She does have those hard shots, but she knows exactly when to throw in a tip, and in such a great spot right over the block.
Libero Georgia Murphy serving again. Shaftmaster, there's the quickness of that offense. Lewis was there on the block, comes back on the attack. Sweet spot.
2 tips fall in a row on Minnesota's side. Typically when you see the first one fall, you have a bit more court awareness of picking those tips up because it's something that Oregon likes to go to early, but 2 tips falling back to back.
Murphy serving the stack. Back again. Nunneveller is a smaller block. And off those high hands.
Nunneveller is a bit undersized, so look for Melanie Shaftmaster in Minnesota to force a lot of sets on that opposite to really test Nunneveller's hands.
Jenna Wennis back to serve now, was attacking Nunneveller's hands. Just long.
Topspin serve is something that Jenna Wennis worked really hard on in the preseason. Head coach Hugh McCutcheon brought it to them and said, hey, who wants to topspin? And Jenna Wennis said, I'll try it out. And he's okay with those misses because she's still getting used to that serve. And when it's on, it's on.
Yeah, 12 aces, 12 errors, 2 aces coming in. They know how they go to Landfair, change of the conversation.
It's the speed of that set that makes it so good and is why Taylor Landfair ends up one-on-one, because it's so quick. The middle doesn't have time to get out there. So look tonight for a lot of holes in the block for Minnesota's outsides to hit through.
That is indeed the biggest challenge for Oregon. Forehand straight across pressing against a quick offense. They go back out to Nunneveller. She's so good out of system.
Incredible swing out of system for Brooke Nunneveller. She notices those blockers are too far out on her, so what does she do? She buries it cross court.
Nunneveller back to serve. She will hit an attack from the backcourt as well. Trouble pass, Landfair, a little tenderness over the top.
Cross for Minnesota, ready for that ball to come over. She got an overpass and she put it away. Didn't matter, but having her up there ready is big for Minnesota.
Yeah, in volleyball, you can't kick them when they're down. Everybody was down on the ground. Pukas, an attacking setter.
The lefty setters, they will swing onto, they'll throw and dumps onto, and it's so important for her to establish this early on that she is a part of this offense, and you can't leave her hanging one-on-one or none-on-one.
Puka's a transfer from Washington State. Arrived in the spring, but had surgery, did not play with this team until summer. Whipping it! Wenis.
Jenna Wenis out of the back row can be just as lethal as Jenna Wenis in the front row, but a great pass, you run it up the gut. Jenna Wenis has all options available to hit.
Wenis averages 3.13 kills per set, second on the team behind Taylor Landfair. And an ace serve for Landfair.
Landfair standing at 6'5". The contact point where she hits the serve is so high, so it has so much trajectory going down. Really hard ball to pass.
It's just so great to see Taylor Landfair on the court after missing much of last year with injuries. Beautiful up, big time up. Pukas again. CeCe McGraw is gonna pick those up, and then Minnesota puts it away.
Incredible transition play from the Gophers. CeCe McGraw ID'ing that lefty setter in that dump, placing a perfect ball for Melanie Schaffmaster to run up the gut. Taylor Landfair out of the back row. That is textbook Minnesota this year.
Matt Homer telling us earlier today at serve and pass, look, other than a couple of people on my team, Brooke Nelmerdiller being one of them, my team has no idea what it's like to play in front of a crowd like this. This is new for them, and they're going to find out, they're going to learn a lot tonight. Bounced by Wenis.
Early on in this game, this crowd is already getting excited. If you're wondering how your team is going to play in a crazy environment, putting them in the pad is a perfect place to do it. Because when Jenna Wenis is getting kills down the line like that, this place erupts.
CeCe McGraw. Pukas running the middle, not high enough. And a miss.
Great court awareness and a heads-up play by Ellie Huseman, going up, IDing the ball, and just putting it straight down.
Matt Omer, head coach in his 6th season with the Ducks, has really traveled the road with this team. This may be one of his best, most physical teams, and that says a lot. Pukas back again. Still really getting to know her hitters. And pushing it down past Carson Bacon. That's Huseman.
Really impressive set by Melanie Schaffmaster. That's a set that we have not seen her make in years past. She's 10 feet off the net. Normally you would assume that's an outside ball. They've been working on it so hard to get those middles involved. Perfect example of that.
Huseman, the lone returning middle blocker. None of them in the backcourt long.
Good decision by Hannah Pukas to get Brooke Nelmerdiller going out of the back row. They need her as an option no matter where she is on the court.
CeCe McGraw's serve. Quick outside, and again, Wenis. Oregon looking a little rattled now with some errors consecutively. Did I throw in enough about Hugh? He's a great guy.
It's interesting because, yeah, so much pedigree and so well respected as a coach. But again, you're chasing those titles to be in the conversation with the greats.
Number 15, Mimi Collier.
Mimi Collier, true freshman out of Lincoln, California, now serving. She is the 2-time Pac-12 Freshman of the Week already. Serves it long. When we're talking about people playing in front of big environments, certainly for Mimi in her short tenure at the Ducks, this is the first time it's been that big. You can assume reasonably that she's been to Nebraska's games a lot since she's from Lincoln, so she's seen some big crowds. Trouble pass, Pukas contains it. Oh, I love that she takes a big swing there, Collier does. What a rip that is! Beautifully executed. Hansen unloads.
Julia Hansen has been taking big rips all season long. She is not afraid in even tough situations to take a big rip at it down the line. A shot that she loves.
Appropriately from Savage, Minnesota, and that was Savage. Landfair from the backcourt. These are cannons on both sides right now.
Both teams are really unloading on the ball. I think both of them know with the level of play they have in their defenses, especially those liberos, a lot of tips and roll shots, though if you fell in the beginning, it's not going to work all night long. You have to take big rips if you want to get a big win.
Murphy serving Gwyneth. The speed of that set, Emily.
So quick to Ellie Huseman. Shackmaster just sending rockets at her. Even off the net, something they've been working so hard on. Ellie Huseman getting the space and able to take a big swing.
Where do you think this offense ranks in terms of speed with other teams across the country?
I haven't seen an offense so far that is as fast as Minnesota.
Tripped. There, Gwyneth is fine.
Hey, you're learning how to do a topspin serve. You're going to have some of those. The toss is going to be off. Something's going to happen. You laugh about it, shake it off, sweep it under the rug.
Next play, you know how to get him to forget about it? Get a kill. Or a great set. Up and down.
The gap go combination, running Ellie Huseman on a gap really quickly, and with the same speed, running that outside. I don't think anyone in the gym knew where this ball was going. Right over the middle, leaves Taylor Landfair one-on-one. It's the speed that makes this offense successful.
That is a thing of beauty. The gap go, and certainly the middle blocker for Oregon has to stay. Little hole available on the tip. You've seen 2 balls drop there now, down the line, tight from the right side for Oregon.
Well, smart shot when you have the middle coming back row, or a serve sub coming in. They might not be ready for those tips right away, so a smart decision to throw one in there.
None of them are serving. Shaftmaster chases it down, unable to be contained.
Great serves by Nunneveller. Another reason what makes her such a great all-around player. She has such a great serve. It comes so quickly. A lot of float on the ball.
Straight at Landfair again. There's the dig. Opportunity, Pukas looks. And it is turned down the line. That's Mimi Collier.
Mimi Collier bringing the heat. First one didn't work as Jenna Gwyneth stepped in and dug it out. But hey, she got that second. Quick to the outside, right down the line. Really impressive shot by Collier hitting that.
Pukas outside to Collier again. Finding hardwood again.
Matt Ulmer has been so impressed with her as a freshman. He said he hasn't been surprised she's been doing this well because he hoped that she would, but she's a kid that comes in early, stays late, kind of reminds her of Brooke Nunneveller as a freshman.
And comes to film with a list of things, a list of questions. He says maybe Brooke was the other person who would do that, just showing up with things that she wants to talk about in film.
You don't even hear of a lot of veterans doing that, but to have a freshman come in, be as focused, as intentional as Mimi Collier is, it just speaks volumes of where she's going to grow and where she's going to grow with this program.
Rachel Kilkelly is this team's service ace leader.
It's a ring for the Ducks, number 20, Amos
Caballero serving now. Landfair. Funneled cross court. Collier digging these balls so far. Slide behind. Carson Bacon in the middle. It's up and over. Collier blocked. That's Shaftmaster.
Very good heads-up play by Minnesota. A scramble play at the net. You have to get up and be ready in any situation. Good job of picking up the tip and turning around right away to get that block.
They had 4 hands across on that very quick turnaround. Beautifully done with Gross and Schaffmaster. I asked Hugh again today, like, how many service errors are too many? We talked about it with him on the call. It's certainly been something that people have noticed around the country, and he said 10%, more than 10% is a problem. Certainly they're at over that right now. Landfair makes Bacon take it down with her.
And a pass from the middle. Nia Gross stepping in and just absolutely nailing that one in system. Allows Taylor Landfair to get that ball. You love a good pass from a middle blocker. Come on.
For sure. And Carson Bacon, a 5th-year player, the most experienced blocker on the Ducks squad. And she's having lots of trouble containing Landfair. Live to swing another day. Beautifully put by Wennis.
Jenna Wennis using her high volleyball IQ to her advantage, going for those high hands, one of the best shots that you can have as an outside hitter.
Cece McGraw serving, 3-point lead, Minnesota early in set number 1. And Nunaville will get you to take it down with her too.
Serving for the Ducks, number 15, Mimi Collier.
You see the leadership there of Nunaville as you look. Collier began her college career with a double-double. 16 kills, 2 digs, or 12 digs, excuse me, 2 aces.
Serving for Minnesota, number 5, Melanie Schaffmaster.
Got Ulmer throwing in some funny facial expressions there.
Always. Always, he's so fun.
Wants him to play angry.
Yes. He says, I want them to come in thinking they want to get in a fight. That's literally, again, today. I want them to want to get in a fight. Because it's going to be a fight here.
In the game for the Ducks, number 7, Copley Neal. Back serving, libero, number 10, Georgia Murphy.
Georgia Murphy, libero for this team, captained by unanimous vote. Matt Ulmer really liked that. She's just such a leader. Of course, part of the position to be a leader and for her to be so respected by her teammates. Huseman out of the middle. Minnesota running their middles more than in years past.
A lot more than in years past. And off the net as well. Melanie Schaffmaster historically has not set her middles over 5 feet off, but she is forcing them off the net. 7, 8, 9, 10 feet off the net.
Shootout here in Maturi Pavilion. Pukas, backcourt, Collier unloads. Ball is wide.
The backcourt play for Minnesota, though. You have almost no blockers up, an empty net, and you have 2 defenders stepping in there and making 2 really incredible digs. Wennis on the first one, and then Schaffmaster trying to get some more momentum for her team.
Service error for Lewis. Becca Morris coming in now for Lewis to play defense, number 2 from Tempe, Arizona. She's a sophomore defensive specialist. And then in comes Booth. Carter Booth, number 52, Colorado Gatorade Player of the Year.
Bringing her in as a blocking sub, she is an incredible blocker. So she's middle, but putting her on that opposite side.
Landfair shutting it down on the other end.
Hugh McCutcheon wants his block to increase, and when you have plays like that from Taylor Landfair, tracking her hitter, mirroring it perfectly, and getting those hands over, that's exactly what Coach Hugh McCutcheon wants from his team.
Minnesota 4-point lead in set number 1. They're in a nice clip, 379 attack percentage. And then the second match of the day for the Big Ten Pac-12 Challenge around the conference in the Big Ten. Some big happenings, Emily.
Some really big happenings, and from my alma mater, Northwestern, taking down their first ranked opponent since 2019. Now Northwestern is big. They swept Pepperdine. So that says a lot about where this program is going. And, you know, as an alum, I'm so proud of Coach Shane Davis and what he's doing with them. But this league there's so much parity now. We're seeing, especially with people coming back, you know, COVID years, all of that. We're seeing a lot of parity, and those teams that have historically been in the bottom, they're raising their play, and they're getting up there.
Penn State picked up their first win against a ranked opponent earlier today, and they took down 11th ranked Stanford. They improved to 7-0 on the season. Landfair. Nunaville recycled, clap, clap, wants it back. And they do it again. The blocking sub works just great.
Blocking sub did exactly what Hugh McCutcheon wanted. Carter Booth, a massive blocker up front. You put her in, you want the block, and you get back to back.
Booth and Gross. Pepperdine, we should mention, is going to be here next week, so just tying up that story. Service is long. Minnesota playing a very tough, they're in the middle of a stretch, 2 of 5 consecutive ranked opponents.
That's what Hugh McCutcheon wanted. He wanted his team to be tested by the time Big Ten play comes, because in the Big Ten, there is no easy days.
5 consecutive matches here at home will make these fans very happy. Perfect pass by Wennes. Carter Booth, little 1 foot behind.
A middle running as an opposite. They put her in, and she did her job. She didn't have to do anything special, just going in, being a force up front, and being an offensive option. That was big for Minnesota in this first set.
Only 2 attack errors all time long, and you gotta wonder, is Carter Booth gonna be an opposite someday? She certainly looks comfortable over there. Set number 2 coming up next.
Percentages reflected.
20 points for Oregon in that set. Minnesota had 7 service errors. So Oregon only scored 13 points there. What do the Ducks need to do to have a better performance second set?
I think they need to take those opportunities that are given to them. If you have 7 service errors given to you, you have to find a way to capitalize that. And for me, it's serving tougher on the end line. They haven't put in very good serves themselves, and Minnesota's been in system too much if I'm the Ducks.
Landfair again. She's just electric as always. 6 kill on 15 swings with just 1 error.
And plays with such calmness. Every time she gets a kill, sometimes you might not even know, because she always just has a little smile on her face, very level-headed, and it's why they feel confident that they can go to her all the time, because she's so cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, no self-celebration for Landfair. Murphy, money pass. And Nunaville, a good chop.
And you could hear libero Georgia Murphy yelling at her, one-on-one, one-on-one. So she essentially has all options available. But you love to hear that from your back row players, telling those front row players what they can and can't hit and what they have open.
Murphy has been a huge part of this Ducks program. She and Nunaville are holding things down.
Sneaky short serve she's throwing in there, try to confuse that Minnesota offense just a little bit more. Take Jenna Wennes out of the offense, hopefully, with the night that she's been having.
Little ball serving the stack. No call on that. Outside, a little tenderness from Landfair. Nunaville will take a swing always. Begging for it again is Nunaville. What defense by the Gophers. Keep coming back. Shaftmaster back again. With an exclamation point to Wennes.
Teams win the game in transition, and that starts with the digs. Both sides just fiending for the ball, but Melanie Shaftmaster did a great job getting her hitter in a good position, and Jenna Wennes having so much success down the line.
Last season when these two teams faced each other, Wennes, 19 kills, 11 digs. She likes to eat up the Ducks. That was a win for Minnesota in Eugene. Nasty.
A On those topspin serves, if you're passing, you have to be ready for those net clips. Because the ball has such a downward trajectory, you have to have someone step in and call it ahead of time. Say, if that ball is to tape, I'm going to take it.
Kiara Roby enters the game. Kiara Roby is 6'2" sophomore. It's her third year with the program. Didn't play that first year. She's the fastest middle blocker, according to Matt Ulmer, and that's what they need right now. Pushing through. A pick up by Pukas.
Taylor Landfair got a little too excited on that one, wanted to hit it straight down, but in this game, you can't just take those big rips. You know, if you're a little bit off the net, you have to still swing high because she has so much court available to the cross court, but swing high, hit hard, doesn't have to be straight down.
Elise Ferreira in now. Pukas is out. Elise Ferreira has been a setter with this program for years. They have Gloria Mutiri on the right in terms of the blocking.
A lot of subs for the Oregon Ducks right now. They're trying to get a new feel out there, just want anything different to try to gain some momentum, see what's working for them.
And if they spend a lot of time working on their block this week and having discipline, knowing how quick this Minnesota offense is, I don't know, you can never really prepare for it. What a set by Ferreira. She's been setting Brooke Nunnerviller for years.
Ferreira stepping in and making a set like that is so impressive. And when you have someone that has been setting for years, step in and have the confidence to make that set, shows Matt Ulmer that that's a really good sub for him.
Yeah, a selfless player with Pukas coming in, accepts an adjusted or changed role, but when her number is called, this backcourt for Oregon, highly experienced Ferreira, Murphy, and Nunnerviller.
Really well placed by Minnesota, but more of a communication error on the Duck side between Nunnerviller and Ferreira. Two players that, yes, play next to each other, but you have someone subbing in, maybe jumbles up the communication a bit more.
Yep. Spoiler, Mutiri puts the ball up for Nunnerviller. Quick behind. Spoiler, love that block, a Shaftmaster. Just a miss.
A miss, but a good decision to try to set the middle on that ball. It's such a quick turnaround that if you can set the middle in that situation, a quick transition ball, it's a good thing that you want to do.
Love that right hand of Shaftmaster, preventing her line from being used. Back again to Nunnerviller.
Ferreira steps in, she is mixing it up. She's finding everyone on the court. She's not just relying on Nunnerviller or Collier. She's really trying to get anybody the ball in any situation. And I think that's the spark that Matt Ulmer wanted, subbing her in.
Yep, not her first day. That's kind of the way she looks out there, right? Elisa Gee, serving, sophomore from San Francisco. That's the way to enter a match.
Stepping in as a serve sub, what do you got to do? You got to hit a strong serve. If that's your role on the team, you have to make sure you're doing it well. And to step in a pressure situation and hit a good serve, really impressive.
Libero was out last spring, and Agee was the Libero.
Nia Gross picking up right where she left off in her last match against Florida, where she came off the bench, hit 444, was a game changer for this team, and really earned a starting spot last week. But this slide is something that she is so comfortable doing.
Landfair serve makes him handle double duty. I don't know that you can tip against Minnesota. They are so smooth coming in. Matching speed for speed. Cece McGraw. Maybe a missed opportunity since the middle didn't come out and close that for Minnesota.
Back to your point, you're right. You can't tip against Minnesota. It worked a few times early on, but they've completely adjusted their defense and have really focused on picking up those easy balls, getting good balls in transition.
Little medical attention for Georgia Murphy. I think there's maybe some blood. And there is a challenge in terms of a touch on the play. Minnesota, we talked about it earlier, 5 of their first 6 opponents are ranked. Hugh McCutcheon wants to know exactly where his team stands in the bigger scope of things, because that's where you know what you're going to work on.
You want to figure out what your team's identity is early on, and what better way to do that than putting them through a gauntlet of a non-conference schedule before Big Ten play, where you know what you're going to get. But it's so important for his teams to really be battle-tested early on, so they already feel comfortable and battle-tested going into Big Tens.
Minnesota team, of course, last year a successful season. They were eliminated by the eventual national champion Wisconsin in the regional final. But with the graduation of Stephanie Samity, 4-time All-American, how did that affect the changes in Minnesota's offense this season to lose Samity?
Well, it was interesting when we asked Hugh McCutcheon about it, because he actually says without Samity, he feels that Melanie Schaffmaster is a lot more comfortable in a sense, because while Schaffmaster did rely on Samity in a lot of ways, it opens things up for Schaffmaster to be able to set other people. Yes, not having Samity is a giant hit to a team, but we've seen these other players really step up and try to fill these bigger roles.
A decision has been reached on the challenge. There was a touch. Point, Oregon. There's a look at the 4-time ABCA All-American Stephanie Samity, 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year. Humble, quiet. And the point is, what we're saying about Schaffmaster is not she was uncomfortable with Samity. It is when you have an elite talent like Samity, it's really hard to not go to her.
Yeah, because in any situation, they knew they could chuck it up to her, and Samity's going to find a way to score. It was something that worked for them. It kept them in a lot of games. But now having the freedom to set a lot more people and not have to rely on one person who is, one of the best of really our generation.
So Matt Omer wins the challenge, then a service ace, and Oregon has taken the lead. Pugas, what a dig! Carson Bacon in the middle there trying to get her going. This is the first swing for him.
Good decision for Melanie Schaffmaster to go back to Nia Gross on that set. Didn't get the first one because of a great dig, but goes back to her because she trusts Nia Gross so much on the slide.
Nunaviller backcourt picked up by Schaffmaster. CeCe McGraw set. Down for Wennis. You got all the superstars in that play.
All the superstars. And Jenna Wennis hitting an impressive cross-court shot. Caught the outside off blocker, really just hanging. She wasn't doing much. She saw that she actually wasn't in there to defend, just taking up space. Really good identification by Jenna Wennis.
Minnesota regains the lead. CeCe serving down the line. That's a pretty good rip from Morgan Lewis.
Serving for the Ducks, number 15, Mimi Collier.
Morgan Lewis sending the ball off those high hands, making it tough for even a great libero like CeCe McGraw to play the ball.
Backcourt attack called. Violation. Even at, well, actually, Oregon now takes the lead, 10-9. Down goes Schaffmaster.
She is a physical and tall setter, not typically overly offensive, but Coach Hugh McCutcheon said they want to get her more involved in this offense because she's so tall, so physical. She does a great job when she is up there of really throwing it down.
Outside to Nunaville.
Nunaville is springy, and any single ball that she's getting, she is up, she is ready, she's got the hang time, she's got the range, just an incredible all-around player, and we're seeing that really play out tonight as she's gotten well majority of Oregon sets.
Quick back, Nunaville with a huge block.
Nunaville can do it all, gets the kill, comes right back in an incredible block, tracking that hitter and really getting in front of her.
Brooke Nunaville listed at 5'10". She's got a slight build, maybe even less than 5'10", but she's just perfection in terms of her form. Able to make things work. Ooh, and quick going from one side to the other. CeCe McGraw puts it over. Middle attack, Roby.
And Hannah Pukas back in there, really getting that middle going in transition. That is exactly what you want out of your setter. Get that middle going on a perfect pass because it opens things up for all of your other hitters.
A little bit of a misconnection. And an overdig. Oregon on a 4-0 scoring run.
And the crowd behind Murphy trying to throw her off, getting loud, trying to end this run as soon as possible.
Trouble, and now it's a free ball to Oregon again, and again they attack from the middle. This has been a slide, and 5-0 run for Oregon. Minnesota taking, oh, Minnesota doesn't need to take a timeout, it's the media timeout, but Hugh McCutcheon wants it. Minnesota gonna try to right the ship.
Some pretty big names on this list. We mentioned Stephanie Samity, but man, this list runs deep, and a lot of that is due to Hugh McCutcheon. You know, a lot of those in the Hugh McCutcheon era, and I mean, I could see a few potential of his players right now earning that honor down the line. Someone like Taylor Landfair, who still has a few years left with this program, could absolutely add her name to that list.
Middle. Door closed. That's 3 huge plays in a row for Roby. Uh-oh, but called in the net. Let's take a look. Yep.
Left arm.
Left forearm.
Good identification by her. She was up, she was ready. A little too aggressive.
Here's the opportunity for Minnesota. They're hitting just 1.36 and an error.
When you're down in a match, you really have to limit those errors, especially when you gain a little bit of momentum. That is a killer when you send a ball in the middle of the net. Again, Jenna Wen is still playing around with her serve, but in that situation, you got to just put one in and keep the momentum on your side.
With a block error, receive error, 4 attack errors. Minnesota doing it to themselves a little bit, and when they get it going, Huseman. It's pretty.
Perfect pass. Melanie Schaffmaster has all options available, and when they have a perfect pass, Ellie Huseman is up, and she is ready. Taking the ball over her shoulder to turn it back to 1. Impressive swing by Huseman.
Huseman's hitting 833. She has not had an attack error yet. And an ace to finish it as Minnesota has now climbed back within 3.
It starts back on the service line, and to have someone like Miranda Wooker back there hitting great serves like she does, that can be a momentum changer for the Gophers.
Wooker down the line. Back to Nunaviller. That is a heavy roof with an extended awning.
Taylor Landfair looking like a wall up there, turning that left hand down perfectly. There are not a lot of people that are going to get past that block.
See what I mean by the awning? Like if you unroll it, it just keeps going over and over and over. A lot of shade. Mutiri left-handed now on the right side. Going to Roby again in the middle. Minnesota keeping it up. Just over. Mutiri bumps.
That was the most excited that we've seen Taylor Landfair this entire game, but that all starts with the great defense. Melanie Schaffmaster running in and throwing a hand to get the pancake, get the ball up, and Taylor Landfair putting it away on a good heads-up play.
All around stellar play by Minnesota. And I think Landfair's block is changing the way that Nunnerviller hits. You can see her reaching so far over. There's an absolute seal. Mutiri goes up, swings long.
If I'm Minnesota, I'm avoiding Taylor Landfair at all costs. She is locking them out of the gym. I'm running everything toward the freshman, Julia Hansen. I like that blocking matchup a lot better. And Minnesota now back in this ball game, tied in the second set. 5-0 scoring run.
It's been a game of runs, right? A 5-0 scoring run by Minnesota before Matt Ulmer called that timeout. Kind of what's Minnesota doing better in this set than they did in the first?
They're taking care of the easy plays. It's the little things that I think that they've changed. It's the unforced errors. It's the aces that have turned now into better passes. Not great passes, but better. And they're doing the little things better, which has been able to claw them back into this one.
Yep. And again, we realized Minnesota won the first set, but it was a lot of Oregon errors. Minnesota driving now. That one cross court and in.
Julia Hansen, she is gonna take some rips at the ball. She is a fearless player. She's taken a big swing in any situation, exactly like that.
Booker serving. Out to Brooke Nunnerviller. Turned sideways in the air as she hit that.
I didn't think she was gonna get to that ball. It was so far out, but that's what makes her great. She's so athletic. She can get to any ball that's set her way. Watch how far she's reaching out and still finding a way to bang a ball down the line.
Oh, it's a Superwoman moment. She is the top pair for Oregon's beach volleyball team. That's why she has such great ball control. She pairs with Reagan Hope, who's on this indoor team as well. Oh, two by Landfair.
The speed of this offense, it is so tough to block in system. That middle has nowhere else to go, considering how fast it's going out to Taylor Landfair. There's always going to be a hole for her to hit through if they're running it that quickly.
Answering back, the freshman.
Mimi Collier, another one who is just taking big rips up front. They need her to be physical in this game and in this entire season if they want to have success. And she's proven herself as an incredible outside to start the year.
Lisa Gee in serving. She had an ace last time around. Way to defend that is Ferreira. And off credit, Elise Ferreira with defending that dump.
And Oregon really targeting Rachel Kilkelly on that back line. They know that she's not one of their stronger passers, but they're going to really keep the ball on her.
Outside. Unloading.
Fantastic response from Kilkelly after a bad pass. She nails that one, which is how this offense is able to stay in system and how Taylor Landfair is able to get those kills. It all starts with that pass, and check out the speed to the outside.
I love how humble Landfair is. You can see it in the way she carries herself. No celebration. Mutiri into the block. Minnesota sealing the net, but Georgia Murphy down. To grab it, Ferreira handling the first ball. Back to Mutiri. First kill of the day for Mutiri. Well timed for the Ducks.
The lefty Mutiri going up, taking a big rip at the ball after they got an insane cover ball a minute earlier. But that's why lefties are so hard to defend, because they are able to hit shots that a lot of blockers aren't used to blocking.
Those lefties love their line shots. Tip, sent back. Nunaville, one-arm stab. And a response.
Tough ball for Mimi Collier to take a full swing on, but man, she is banging the ball in a tough out-of-system situation.
Oregon +2 late in the second set. Hugh McCutcheon calls a timeout.
A crazy up and a tough out-of-system ball coming from behind her, still finding a way to get a good swing at the ball. Mimi Collier as a freshman, but man, she does not look like a freshman by the way that she's playing.
Minnesota trailing by 2 here. What would you want right now from them?
I'd like to see a good response. I'd like to see them nail a pass. I think it's really important for them to be good from the serve and pass standpoint. They have to be nailing these passes. They have to get their offense going in system. Whether it's a pass, whether it's a first ball contact, a dig, they have to be really good first ball.
For the Oregon Ducks, really nice test for this team to come out here and play in this environment again. They're 4-0, undefeated coming into this, but this for them, they haven't played in this kind of a crowd before at all. And they haven't started school yet either, so even their arena is a little quiet still.
You don't have those students in, it's hard to get a good feel of your environment. But yes, playing at a place like the Pad, it is one of the loudest places in the country. So it's a good test for his team to see how they respond to crowd noise. And at a place like the Pad, it can be a game changer when you get late in sets, when the crowd is just in your face, right on top of you, yelling at you behind the service line. It can really have an impact, especially late in sets.
Yeah, and he likes to fight, Matt Ulmer does, and his team. They were down 12-14 in the 5th set versus Long Beach State and came back. As for Minnesota, their only loss this year was to Texas. Texas, #1 team in the country, who has looked bulletproof, frankly, so far.
And even in that game, Minnesota has 19 service errors and still only lost by a few. So it's really promising for this team to show that they can really hang with those top teams as they are one themselves.
When people talk about Minnesota this year, and in years past, but really this year what I'm hearing the most is the speed. That ball is in.
Nia Gross, the transfer from Michigan State, coming up big. She has been a wall since she earned a spot on the court last game. They put her in, and now just an absolute wall up front. I mean, last season, you finished top 20 in the country in blocks per set. It's no surprise that she's stepping into this great program and having the impact that she is.
Brooke Nunaville stays behind the attack line and retrieves that ball. Outside. Another rip from Wenis.
Wenis tries a cross-court shot, gets it blocked right back at them. They get the cover ball, so she switches it up. She has that line open, and she makes sure that she hammers it. Really great court awareness from Jenna Wenis. You see that speed and just turning it on the outside of those blockers. That's what makes her so great. She has so much range to her game. She can hit any shot at any time that's given to her. Really great all-around player.
Yeah, at 17 kills in that win over Baylor, she was huge on this Minnesota team. Kevin Hambley and head coach Hugh McCutcheon, the best of friends, go way, way back. They're two of the people who created this challenge, the Big Ten Pac-12 challenge. They wanted to do this. Is the second cycle of it, the 8th year that this challenge has undergone. It's a really great showcase.
Especially so early on in the season, seeing these big matchups is so huge.
Oregon Sep's dying inside a little, it looks like. Landfair continuing.
Big Taylor Landfair at a crucial time, as now we're 3 points away from winning this set for Minnesota. But the way she turns her thumb down to hit an angle that not a lot of outsides can hit.
This pass by Nunaviller, but the connections with the setter are not there at all. Just put it where they're not.
Another heads-up play by Minnesota. Not the cleanest, you would say, but Ellie Huseman goes up, IDs that every single one of those defenders is sucked in. So she just sends a ball deep with the set for an easy point.
Look at Landfair's face. She's just smiling in the backcourt, leading this team in kills. Her team has responded after being down earlier in the set. Quick. That is an unbelievably fast offense for Minnesota. Landfair picks it up. Schaffmeister outside. A response. Carson Bacon ends the run.
Ends the run at a really crucial time. They needed that point, and what better way than a block that's going to give your team momentum now. Getting this is so crucial, but when you send that server back on the line, you have to keep that momentum and keep it in.
I was thinking the same thing when she hit the tape. Wenis is huge. It is set point, Minnesota. Schaffmeister serving for the set. Deep at Murphy. Carson Bacon to the middle. What a delivery by CC.
Incredible out-of-system set. The confidence from CC McGraw to go up with her hands and deliver an incredible ball. And Jenna Wenis, the trust of her teammate to take a big swing and close out set 2.
Impressions of how Schaffmeister is running this offense.
It's been run very, very well. It's just as fast as we would have hoped it would be. And that's not only to the pins, but to the middles. They're running a lot of overloads. So with the middles, they're running gaps and goes to the outside, really confusing Oregon's blockers and putting them in a tough situation.
Set number 3 underway, and it starts with Schaffmeister. A really tough serve. And a huge block. The Gophers.
Ellie Huseman coming up big here in this first point of the third set. That is exactly how you want to start. Gain that momentum right away, and the block is going to do that for you.
Huseman and Wenis. Big. Yeah, that's going to be an over. And Wenis says, that happened. She reached over as the setter was trying to make a play.
Coming out of that break after set 2, you have a lot more time. You really want to calm your team down. You don't want errors like this. You don't want to play tense. It looks like these passers are pretty tense. Getting Pukas high on the net.
Mutiri able to take it down with them, but again, the Gophers never give up. Dig by Cece. No.
Minnesota with all the momentum in every facet of the game. Jenna Wenis with an incredible save, and CC McGraw coming up clutch in a one-on-one situation, sacrificing her body to make the play and get the point for the Gophers.
That's why the Libros don't use their hands a lot of times, because the ball, when they're setting it, is spinning, it's high, and that time is just too much for Georgia Murphy. One arm. That's what makes CC McGraw so exceptional in her hands, I think. 11th kill of the day.
This is the most polished we've seen this Minnesota team all season long, and that started with CC McGraw, a one-arm dig, throwing it out, no blockers up. Incredible job by Minnesota to a 4-0 run to start the third set.
What do you mean the connecting rooms were not confirmed?
Exactly, not confirmed. But they're super close, though. There's just a courtyard in between them. Well, actually, it's an alley, but nobody lives in it anymore, so that's cool.
Go ahead and lock the door.
What?
When you want your kids in a room that's actually connecting,
Lock the door. Why would I lock the door?
it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
The Sourdough Star is back at Carl's Jr., and so is the Sourdough Bandit. Oh, hello there.
Bite into the Sourdough Star, only at Carl's Jr.
The Sourdough Star is back at Carl's Jr., notching a victory for flatbreaders everywhere. It's a victory indeed. Take that, science.
Bite into the Sourdough Star, only at Carl's Jr.
They're not sorta big. They're torta big. They're not sorta tasty. They're torta tasty. Introducing Del Taco's new Epic Tortas. 3 hot and savory Mexican-style sandwiches on a big, freshly toasted 7-inch roll. Try crispy chicken with house-made guacamole, chicken BLT, or carne asada with queso. New Epic Tortas. Bigger, toastier, epicer. Say hello to Del Taco Bettermex. And say hello to free Del Taco delivery in the app every weekend in September.
Minnesota starting this third set strong, and Cece McGraw has just been lights out this last play before we went to break. Check out the way that she's able to adjust to pretty much anything. She does such a great job of tracking her hitters. She's always in a good situation to make a play, and she's been keeping Minnesota in this game.
Really one of the best liberos in the country is Cece McGraw, just watching her at the speed.
And the way that she leads the backcourt, whether that's from a passing standpoint or from a defensive standpoint, she's a leader for this team. They listen to her, and she makes plays to make it happen.
Into the game for Oregon, number 25, number 10.
Roby serving now for the Ducks. Minnesota doing a great job holding Oregon to 185 attacking. That's about their average in opponent hitting percentage. Net violation against Minnesota, but I'm watching. They're really taking Oregon out of their opportunity to have multiple hitters.
They are, and that starts, again, from the service line. They really want to put tough balls on them, and up front, you got to be physical. Oregon has been out of system so much tonight, and that not only is the serve, but from really well-placed attacks.
Cece McGraw, the set up. Long rally. Landfair with a hammer.
Taylor Landfair from the back row off a quick, big set. They needed to get her going early on to open things up for other hitters, but check out the speed of this set. Landfair already on her approach when Schaffmaster is setting the ball.
12 kills, 3 arrows on 29 swings. Landfair hitting 310.
Genuenis seemed to turn away from her topspin serve. Maybe felt like she had a few too many misses there. But Taylor Landfair, she has been stellar tonight. I mean, all around play, pushing something off her shoulder.
Literally, the bother, it bothering me, rolls right off my shoulder.
Brushing the bother away, precisely.
Chloe Ng brought in to block. Excuse me, not Chloe Ng, I'm looking. Morgan Lewis again.
And good identification there. They see with the speed of the set, middle has to reach their hands in more because they're not going to get all the way there with their feet.
Georgia Murphy saving, but it's so tight. Brooke Nunneveller is just literally in the shadow of that block.
And Julia Hansen did such a great job of waiting and then going up. And you see, even in an off-speed situation, she's able to put a ball down pretty hard.
Yep, and Brooke Nunneveller was planning to wipe it off of her, and that's one of Nunneveller's specialties. You could see it, but Hansen, that right arm firm.
And turned all the way in the court. As an opposite blocker, you want that right hand turned all the way in to make sure that you can't get tooled. And that was a perfect example of a tool attempt, but Hansen had that hand turned in to put it straight down.
Rooker. Serve is long.
Serving for the Ducks, number 5, Nunneveller.
Nunnerviller serving after the strong start by Minnesota. Nunnerviller closing the gap in the must-win set. Backcourt. Oh, that one's a little shaky. Coming back again, beautiful dig again. I love that CeCe McGraw pulls out her hands again. Triple block, waiting for it.
Great adjustment from Oregon for putting 3 blockers up on that back row attack, something that's burned them one too many times in this game, but great identification. All blockers up and ready, and that's a wall to hit behind.
Landfair with a piece of hands. She wanted all of that. Collier did.
And a smart shot, trying to go for those high hands, but Collier has to just place it a little bit better, a little bit reckless on that swing, too high.
Hugh McCutcheon told us he wanted 10% or less of errors, 32 serve attempts, and 10 errors already. It's about 30% errors.
Yeah, that's a number that just can't happen.
Wait. I'm going to check myself on that. I'm not sure. I don't want to put that out there. I think they've had more serves than that. Excuse me, but I don't want to say it wrong.
But service errors have plagued this team before. We saw it in that match against Texas. That was one of the reasons why they lost. So serving has been a big point of emphasis for this program and just keeping the ball in while keeping it tough.
Landfair again with a kill. After not playing last year, she's Big Ten Freshman of the Year. She played 9 matches last year before her injury. What has she brought back to this team while they've lost Samity and some other names?
Well, she's a more confident player. She's a better player, and one of the reasons for that is because when she was out, she was able to really study the game and see the game from a different perspective of ways on the court that she could improve. So whether that's her shot selection, whether that's blocking moves. Coach Hugh McCutcheon said she looks more confident, she's making more confident moves, and it's really translating to her numbers on the court. She looks like a more confident player, and we're seeing her take more risky and bigger swings than we have in the past.
Double sub, Pukas and Mutiri in for Oregon. That one sent long, official saw it, he says. Long, CeCe McGraw follows it right to the corner.
Right to the corner, and that's exactly what you want to do as a libero, as a unit in service. If you follow that ball all the way out, stick your foot on that line to make sure that it's out and you don't get burned.
Look at the section behind her. Those are all C's back there for CeCe. Haven't seen a lot of that.
Not a lot of middle production for the Ducks. They haven't been in system at a very high clip. So when they are in system, they have to run those middles effectively to establish it, to open things up for their other hitters.
I feel like for Vega, that's the first time we've seen anything behind the setter that tight. Again, running at 6'2", so not going to see slides. The sitting pass. Mutiri with a kill, but Taylor Landfair, how about some body control?
A lot of body control. On the ground, still manages to get the ball up. A little chuckle afterwards, but check this out from Landfair. Ball goes up, she's already on the ground. What does she do? Uses her body in any way that she can to just keep the ball alive.
Her face was, feeling it coming.
Of course, you want to get the point on that, but hey, still room for chuckles.
Yep. Shaftmaster serving. In trouble, over the shoulder. Brooke Nunnerviller, such a hard one to hit, and then unloading
Incredible shot by Nunaviller up there, hitting that deep corner. Stacey McGraw stepped in to try to make a play, wasn't good enough, but man, Nunaviller hitting some really impressive shots. Check out how far that's going to the back line.
Nunaviller hitting 273, the next closest, Quiller and Mutiri both at 176, so they're really not getting production from anybody other than Nunaviller consistently. On the other side for Minnesota, Landfair, of course, but Wennis has been great. Huseman error-free from the middle.
And you're going to see that happen between Schaffmaster and her middles when she's pulled off the net, forcing those sets. Sometimes the connection just isn't quite there. You see Ellie Huseman turn to her and say, hey, I got that one next time.
That is a feed me pass. I love that from Wennis.
And Wennis in serve receive, it's something that she said she actually likes being targeted. Passing is one of her strengths that she feels. When she's back there, she says, serve me the ball, because that's something that I want to do. It's something I'm good at and I feel comfortable doing.
McGee's serve is tough. Nunaviller just consistently, that over the shoulder puts it away.
And into such a great spot. She's been hammering that cross-court corner all night long, and it's worked so well for her. Those blockers have to ID that she's hitting that cross-court well, and they have to take a step and move in.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? They're already in, but those are really three balls. They're set inside, and so we haven't seen Nunaviller hit line yet tonight, I don't think. CeCe McGraw, not the person you want to serve. McGraw commands the whole floor. Smackdown, great up by Murphy. Nunaviller hurt us. Don't hit line. I can hit line.
She said, oh, you thought that I couldn't do that? Oh, let me show you and let me get a kill while I'm doing it, man. Nunaviller, every shot in the book sees those blockers and she bangs it down the line. Oregon up 15-11.
Emily, right here at game Minnesota, Western Illinois versus Minnesota. I know you're working that game. Give us a storyline or two.
Man, this Minnesota defense, but they are good. Coming off their first shutout since 2006, playing a team, FCS team, new head coach. They don't know what they're going to throw at them, but man, Minnesota football looking good, led by Tanner Morgan and Mo Abraham.
What time is the game?
11 Central, noon Eastern.
All right, here you go. That's a power from Pereira. Landfair putting it the other way. CeCe, and then boop, over the top.
McGraw doing the best she can to keep her team in this, making some incredible plays. That one just not good enough. Put down by Roby.
Look at that Ducks scoring run, 16-7. Ducks in a must-win third set.
It's been from the service line. They know that if they can get Minnesota out of system, they're going to have success, which is why you're seeing runs like this from the Ducks.
Yep, timeout called by Hugh McCutcheon for Minnesota. What do they need to do right now out of this break to gain control again?
They have to nail a pass. You have a hard top spin serve coming in. You're hitting 0 right now in this current set. You have to nail a pass, or at least give your setter an option to have more than one option available for her on offense.
Stanford and Nebraska are going to be playing Tuesday on Big Ten Network. Tell me about that matchup.
It's an intriguing one. Stanford coming off the loss from tonight, looking to bounce back tomorrow against Minnesota. But man, this Nebraska team, they are looking good. Just took down Creighton in 5 sets. The first time that they had actually lost a set all season long. They are dominant. They have a lot of really good young players that have stepped up into really big roles, and Nebraska's looking good, and I'm interested to see how well they do against a team like Stanford, who I think, in my opinion, is a big step up from Creighton, and a team that's really hungry for a big ranked win.
Yeah, and they're angry now after that loss to Penn State, who just executed beautifully earlier tonight, a 5-set loss for them. So we'll see how they do against Minnesota tomorrow. This Minnesota offense, when it's clicking, and I understand it's not right now, is the fastest I've seen in the country so far this year.
It's the fastest
I
offense.
haven't seen Texas in person, I'll say that.
I will say, Minnesota, hands down, it seems like the fastest. The way that they run their pins so quick, there are not a lot of blockers in the country that are able to put 2 up, put 4 hands up in front of these pins.
Guerrero's serve is fire. Wenis, strong, gets a touch off that block.
Schaffmaster going to her hot hand. Jenna Wenis has had an incredible day from the front row, but really from the back row. They've been using her a lot, and these Oregon Ducks not doing a great job defending from the back line, but getting 3 blockers up is big.
Guerrero quick to the pin. Got a dig by Murphy off of Wenis. very ladylike from Landfair. Brooke Nuneviller said, I'm on the other side now.
And Nuneviller looks like she has more pop in her. You know, she's up in this match. She really wants to close it out. She's getting up there and being really intentional with every swing that she's taking.
That is Brooke Nuneviller, no question about it. She is incredibly intense and precise as an individual. When you have a leader like that, you can't slack off if you're in the gym. She's working harder than you. Little ball, that was beautiful by Landfair.
Landfair has the option to bang the ball down the line with so much space, but because of that, she takes some speed off of it.
Oh, awesome.
And places it perfectly, catching that defender on her heels.
Way to read the room, Taylor Landfair. Quick. That's a quick middle as well coming.
And Oregon needs this. They have to run those middles, and running them quickly can get them back in this match. In a great ball sent to Roby.
The serve passed. How about that? Landfair showing the whole toolbox. Off speed, tip, hammer, all good.
Taylor Landfair is using every single shot that she has. We've seen her take some big rips. We've seen her throw in tips and rolls. That one, using the block to her advantage and swiping it out. She has been so versatile tonight.
I want to see her pull the string on her serve, too. See if they can catch them off. Block was solid.
Great setup by Oregon, pushing that all the way out. They know Jenna Wenis has all options available, so what do you have to do? You have to just block the ball at that point. When you know that Jenna Wenis can hit any shot in the game, block the ball.
Puka serving. Watching Nunneviller's eyes right before that play, and she was hunting. I could see her identify, okay, here's who's hitting against me. Had a solo block against Gross.
And she's mirroring the block so well. She's seeing her hitter, IDing her very early, knowing where she is, because she wants to get up and she wants to get a big stuff to keep the momentum with Oregon.
Landfair on the money. Free ball. CC on a dime. And another one.
That identification that you just talked about. She's IDing that hitter so early. Watching that slide attack. Check out how Nuneviller is already up and ready in the exact spot that she needs to be, because she's talking through that play before it's happening.
looking pretty even so far today. Ducks with a large lead. Passing for Minnesota looks good. And oh yeah, there's that swing.
When the passing is good, you can run plays like that. A quick pick out of the back row. That's exactly what this Minnesota team wants to do. If they're not getting their middles involved from the front row, you can get the middle up the gut in the back row. Give it to Taylor Landfair, she's gonna put it down.
Mutiri into the block, recycled. Murphy goes back to Mutiri. She's got to make an adjustment. It was going out. She was able to clip Landfair.
Just targeting her back in 6. Taylor Landfair trying to move out of the way. Not quite quick enough. Check it out. Hits her right shoulder.
Mutiri should probably send her a thank you note for that one. It was just right.
Correction, serving for the Ducks, number 15, Mimi Collier.
Collier now serving for the Ducks. Collier, two-time Pac-12 Freshman of the Week, only 3 weeks into the season. A miss on location. Nunneviller's outside. They go back to Mutiri. It's rare that they'll go away from Nunneviller.
And for Minnesota, number 22, hands it back, serving number 5, Melanie Schaffmaster.
Schaffmaster back to serve. They're not putting voodoo on her, they're giving her power there. They love Schaffmaster's serve here in the pavilion. With fire and a smile from Nunneviller.
Big answer from Nunneviller, taking a big swing at a time when they need it. They're trying to close this one out. Don't even crack the door open to let Minnesota back in.
Set point Ducks. Field goal right between the uprights by Hansen.
Hansen answering on that play. A tough out-of-system ball, but still finds a way to hit through the seam, right through the hands of Roby.
Set point number 2, Oregon. Straight back down at Nunneviller. Minnesota's fought off 2 set points. Here's another opportunity. Ball's going to go to Nunneviller on the outside. Back to Mutiri. Long rally, Cece goes to Landfair. Ducks take set number 3, and we're headed for a 4th.
Great response from the Ducks, turning things around, taking set 3. Minnesota up 2-1, headed to set 4. State now adding Wisconsin into the conversation, but just bringing that history and elevating the level of play. This conference is somehow going to be even better than it already is come 2 years from now.
It's such an elite conference, the Big Ten is, and you know, just hearing the excitement in coaches Keller and Seeley's voice, they couldn't be happier about the move. Carving. It's Thanksgiving in September. That was beautiful.
Taylor Landfair starting things off with a massive cross-court kill. Those blockers a little bit too far out. Taylor Landfair, a player that is going to burn you if you give it to her.
Minnesota hit under 100 in that last set. Kind of what went wrong there?
It was the pass. They weren't in system at a good clip. They didn't have the opportunity to run that quick offense that we've seen them run, because when they're running it, they're pretty unstoppable. The last set, we didn't see a lot of it because they were out of system.
Mutiri working the block.
As a lefty, it's really tough as a blocker to ID that and to be up in a good spot, because a lefty hits a lot different than a righty's going to hit on that opposite pin.
Right over at the top. Muteri again gets a little bit of high hands. Defense is nice for Minnesota. And that one, Muteri touches out of his head round.
Especially with that end line camera, you can see how quick that set is going. You can see that there's a middle set right below that outside set, confusing those blockers, making it really tough for them to pick which one they're going to go up with.
Carter Booth in the middle for Minnesota. And Nuneviller off hands.
Nunneviller's done a great job of adjusting to the set that she's given. It seems like she's coming in at an angle and the set's a little bit past her, but she's still finding a way to use that line, use those high hands, and get the point.
Cannon of an arm. Carter Booth blocked. And going quick the other way. It's an error by Landfair, but I tell you what, if she had hit that in, it was a long trip for the Ducks blockers.
Yeah, that was a really impressive shot. I mean, she's off balance, going for that cross court. Something that she's very good at and can hit those sharp shots. But if I'm the Ducks, I'm moving my block in. She's hammering the cross court. Take it away from her.
Tight ball. And it is a Ducks point. There was a touch.
For how far the ball was on that net, I'd be really surprised if there wasn't a touch on that. Set right on top of the net. Looked like it clipped the hands. Taylor Landfair.
I want a gun on Ferreira's serve. I want to know how fast that ace is.
Small but mighty. She's putting a lot of PHs behind that ball, really trying to test the Minnesota serve receive.
Big time block. Oregon out of the gate strong.
Oregon's feeling this one. They're doing the little things right, hitting their blocking assignments. 2 up on that back row attack, something that they have to defend well because it's such an integral part of Minnesota's offense.
Servers like Ferreira only get stronger the more opportunities you give them.
There it is, played out perfectly, right between the seams. She is heating up on that back line. The confidence coming from Elise Ferreira right now is electric.
An attempt to ice the server, Hugh McCutcheon calling a timeout. So while they take a break, so will we. Ducks out to a 5-point lead in set number 4.
All Big Ten. All.
That was big. It was a big point, not only because of the point, but you got her off the service line.
You got her off the service line, and Cece McGraw sticking that pass after she just got ace. That's what makes her so great. She steps in there and makes a confident move to allow that offense to do its thing.
Yeah, you're not going to ace Cece McGraw twice consecutively. Minnesota with work to be done now in this set. Middle. Roby.
Roby has been a big spark that this team needed. The second that she went in, it seemed like this team rallied around. It brought new energy to the court, and Roby right now having a field day up front, 5 for 7, hitting .714.
Yeah, I think Matt Ulmer has some options. And Roby, is so offensive. She's taking control. They get a touch, and now Matt Ulmer is pumping his fist. He wanted to see the fight in his team. It's the #1 thing he told us. I want to see this team get in a fight.
You see those fingers bend back from Minnesota's Carter Booth. Really great shot going for those high hands.
Nuneviller. Great answer back. It was just wide, though, from Carter Booth. Love the big swing. Landfair. 20 kills for Taylor Landfair.
From all around the court, too. She's not only getting them in the front row, but they are forcing the ball to her in the back row. Quick tempo, has all options available, just hammering those deep corners.
Outside, it's tight. Big reach over the top. Free ball. Running that middle, it's Roby again.
Roby has been electric. In any situation that you can get her the ball, she needs to be fed. She is going up there errorless, 7 for 9, forcing her way through Minnesota's block, bringing a much-needed spark to the Ducks.
Landfair again.
And moving Landfair around, not only is she hitting from the middle back position, but they'll move her and hit her from right back as well to confuse the Ducks' blocks just a little bit more, which is one of the reasons why she was able to get that kill.
Trouble for the Ducks. Covered by Murphy. Extended rally ends with a Minnesota error.
Genowennis looking for those high hands. The Ducks block did a great job of closing on that really quick in-system set. And Genowennis has been going for high hands all night long, and it's worked. That one just a little long.
Something off it. It's never a bad idea.
Give it right back to Genowennis. Didn't get the last point, goes right back to her. Get that confidence up.
Taylor Landfair 1 kill away from tying her career high in the spring of 2021. She had 22 kills. She's sitting at 21 now. A little frustration, perhaps, from Nunaviller.
A tough out-of-system swing. Impressive that she even got a swing on it, but great identification by Minnesota, putting 3 blockers up on her.
Tough serve did it, and Landfair ties her career high in kills with 22.
They are feeding Landfair, and it's because of plays like this. She is up and she is ready. She's hitting over any block that they're giving her.
Taylor Landfair having the time of her life right now. Owning the net as Minnesota comes back within 4 in this set.
Clawing their way back in. You see her hop on that bike. She has had an impressive night. Ties her career high 22 kills. So impressive from a player that couldn't play for most of last season, out with an abdominal injury, comes back, and to have the season that she has had right out of the gates. She has been such a big part of this Minnesota offense. And think about the years that she has left, 3 of them, and where she can be as a player. It's scary thinking about how good Taylor Landfair can be down the line.
Well, I remember when she came in, she had Gopher fans really excited, ranked as the #1 overall recruit by both Prep Volleyball and VolleyballMagazine.com, and Under Armour first team All-American. And so, you know, it was crushing last year after those 9 matches to be out. How good it must feel to her to be able to contribute in such a an important way.
Yeah, and she's mentioned how hard it was with that injury, not only physically being out, but just the mental side of it. She wrote a beautiful piece about how she's more than an athlete. You know, it is the physical aspects of the game that are really hard when you're out, but mentally, it's tough being an elite athlete, not having that same feeling back on the court with your teammates in the thick of it. It was something that she really had to process and look within, but again, she came out stronger because of it. She's a new player, a more confident player, has improved in so many aspects of the game. So to watch her come out this season, this match, tie her career high, so impressive from Taylor Landfair.
McGee serving. Big time block by Minnesota.
Ellie Huseman with a great blocking move to seal that one up. 4 big hands in front of Collier. Taylor Landfair showing more emotion than we've seen from her all season.
A very happy Friday for her. The Ducks break the spell.
Impressive shot by Mimi Collier going up. Lauren Kraut taking a lot of court away, but Collier finding a way to turn it down the line.
Off the tape, over. Carson Bacon, just an easy redirect.
Good heads-up play by Bacon, getting up, being ready, throwing the ball down, keeping the ball on their side to point score.
Murphy lays it out. That's a great pickup. Point, Minnesota.
Schaffmaster with her second pancake on the night, throwing her hand out, doing whatever she can to get the ball up. Landfair using the block well.
And from Minnesota, serving number 1, Miranda
Wooker comes in to serve. Minnesota within 4. They win this set, they win the match. Ducks looking to extend it to 5. 2 Ducks down. Able to outlast Minnesota. Now this is the point, 15-10. Same score in the 3rd set, right? And it was an answer back.
Yeah,
So-
Minnesota was down 5. They found a way to chip at the score, execute those little things just a little bit better, and got right back in the ball game last set. Landfair showing up big time in a big time moment. There are no players that are going to stop Taylor Landfair when she gets hot.
New career high for Taylor Landfair, 23 kills. She's hitting an incredible 302 on the night. Collier too much. Gophers within 3.
Minnesota chipping away at the Ducks. Good from the service line, putting in solid balls. That's exactly what they have to do to chip away at this lead.
Rachel Kilkelly serving. Nunaville getting stronger in her attack. And the Midas touch. It's a touch for Landfair. Matt Ulmer going to challenge that. Now, keep in mind, while they're looking at it, if they see anything else on the play, they can call it. I'm saying that because that ball landed right in front of you and I, Emily, and it might have been on the back line anyway.
Might have been in. But is there any deflection of this ball? Is there a finger bent backwards, change of direction? tough to tell from that angle, but if there's any finger bending back, that call is going to change.
Meanwhile, lower part of your screen, lower right, you can see Matt Ulmer and
no touch on the call. Not confirmed, but stands.
right. And that's why I chose that word specifically, because again, if there's not inconclusive evidence, or sorry, if there's not conclusive evidence that needs to be overturned, it will stay as stands, as called. Muteri, that's huge. Landfair, defensively and offensively.
Everyone in the pad off their seats. Taylor Landfair coming up big. The identification coming in and turning those hands in. Impressive job. Taylor Landfair crushing it tonight.
Nunavilla shut down. It's a tie ball game here in the pad.
Back-to-back blocks from Minnesota, getting them back in this ball game. It's exactly the spark they needed. It's exactly what they needed for momentum. Those 2 points could be a game changer for Minnesota as they crawl their way back from a 5-point deficit.
Minnesota hitting 250 in this set after holding below 100 in their last set.
And this last block is a reason why they're able to crawl back. Melanie Schaffmaster, big, physical, tall setter. She knows they have to do the little things, and that's finishing every single play, whether that's a block, whether that's being ready on defense. You have to do the little things if you want to crawl your way back in, which is why Minnesota right now, 5-0 scoring run.
I want to credit Carter Booth there, too. The ball didn't go off her hands, but she changed what Nunaviller was going to do because she got all 4 hands across.
Didn't leave any gap in the block.
Right.
Nunaviller had no option but to hit at Melanie Schaffmaster because you can't go for Booth, who, you know, standing as tall as she is, 6'7",
right.
You can't hit at her if
right.
it's a closed block. So Schaffmaster has to do her job in that situation, get those hands in and turn it down, which is exactly what we saw.
I think that's really what the casual fan learns when they watch a lot of volleyball, is that the block does so much more than just send the ball back. It funnels, it changes what the attacker does, and Carter Booth is a change maker.
Having someone that big up front, it's someone that you can't hit into, because if you try to hit at her, she's going to block it back in your face, which means you're going to go for the other blockers, and if those blockers can do their job, it makes it really hard on a hitter to try to hit around them, which is when you see a lot of errors, you see a lot of tips in play, because they aren't able to hit around a big physical block.
Using those long legs to close the block. She's out of Cherry Creek High School in Colorado. She's the Colorado Gatorade Player of the Year. Pass is perfect. And if you don't close it, Nunavilla drives a truck. Her vision's exceptional.
She knows that if Carter Booth is not perfectly in place on that block, if there's any hole at all, Brooke Nunaviller is gonna hit right through it. You see Carter Booth, last second move, thought she was going with the middle, but Nunaviller saw that there was a hole. She's able to hit through it.
Here's Ferreira, who started that serving run early on. Up and down. Landfair. OT.
Just a 1-2 punch. You get a quick ball, and Taylor Landfair has been lights out. The connection with as fast as it's going, that connection is just superb. Such a quick set to the outside. Taylor Landfair has been lights out.
She's unconscious right now, just doing what feels right. They're putting it to Nunaviller, and you said Nunaviller again. They go to Roby, having a nice night from the middle.
If I'm Oregon and Roby's available and she's up and I get a good pass, I am setting it to her 10 out of 10 times. She has been stellar for the Ducks, really allowed them to open things up for their other hitters and has been a really great offensive weapon.
And yet it's only taken 9 swings, so maybe you're right, Emily, they haven't been going to her enough. Nunaviller's taken 51 swings. Ducks point, double contact. Landfair, by the way, 55 total attempts, only 7 errors with 25 kills.
She doesn't look tired. She does not look gassed at all. 55 swings, she says, okay, give me some more. I can handle it.
I guarantee you, she wants every ball, so does Nunaviller. That's on the back line. Wenis, great kill for her, number 11.
When you have a player like Jenna Wenis that can also have those big-time kills and moments that this Minnesota team needs it is a massive 1-2 punch for Minnesota to have options available other than Taylor Landfair.
CC serve. Block is there. Schaffmaster, one of the best blocking setters in the country.
She's tall, she is physical at 6'3". She gets up there. And if you're not gonna hit at the middle and you're forced to hit at Melanie Schaffmaster, you're probably not in a good spot because Melanie Schaffmaster is gonna shove it right back in your face.
Mature play from the young freshman.
Collier has been hitting some really hard rips. Now, because of that, it's opened up a lot defensively. There's holes on the court, and she sees there's a hole right behind the block. She's going to use it.
Ferreira in setting for Oregon. She knows how to use Nunaviller late in a set. Locked up at 19. What's going to separate these teams from each other?
In the final 6 points of this game, it's going to be who's executing at a higher level. Now, I know that sounds, of course, it's execution, but it is those little things. It's finishing every block. It's making a 1 pass, a 2 pass, a 2 pass, a 3 pass. Just making the ball better every touch that you can.
Schaffmaster's serve goes to Collier. Nunaviller. And here comes Wenis. New opportunity. Unload. That is a very big swing from Lewis.
Big swing at a big time when they need it. Off the net, out of system situation, sees that blocker is inside, goes right down the line. Incredible swing by Lewis.
The double sub for the 6'2", Utiri in, along with Pukas. Forget about it.
If I'm Melanie Schaffmaster, every single ball that I'm setting, I am feeding Taylor Landfair. I don't care where she is on the court. She gets every ball because she is doing incredible, hitting a blistering 340 tonight.
If Landfair was on the bench, I'd set her there too. Nice swing. Yeah, that's right, Landfair. They go to Brooke, as they should. Nice job by Bacon bringing it down. Here comes Taylor Landfair. She can do no wrong.
Every single shot in the book Taylor Landfair has. She has been crushing it cross court. Those blockers move inside. She can do the same thing down the line. Does not matter. Any shot, she's hitting.
Minnesota takes the lead.
Is where Minnesota gains all the momentum in the building. You have a big swing by Taylor Landfair, followed up by an impressive ace. Lots of momentum right now for the Gophers.
2-point lead. Oregon can close it out in this set.
There's nothing that kills momentum more than a miss serve.
Melanie Schaffmaster, by the way, 20 digs today, doing an excellent job. 2 of them breakfast served with the pancakes, but, you know, overall, everything she has done for this team. The Midas touch. 28th kill of the day for Landfair.
28 kills on the night for someone that only played half a season last year. And to come out and have the night that she is, give her the ball.
Yeah, only 9 matches last season. I don't know what the discussion is over at the scorer's table. It's Matt Ulmer checking on what he has for timeouts left. Murphy. Bacon. Brooke, feeder. Mutiri going the other way, off high hands.
Mutiri, the lefty, going up, a high flyer of her own, hitting those high hands. And when you're a lefty, the spin comes off it a little bit different, making it really hard to defend.
Mutiri first entered this game. She was really being used more as a blocker. She's picked up a few kills of late, and there's one where you think it's going to Nunaviller. Mutiri gets a broken block. There's some Ducks fire.
And Oregon's happy about that one because they have not blocked Taylor Landfair in a while. So that is the spark that they needed to try to get something going.
And I think I just saw Brooke Nunaviller turn to Pukas and say to her very directly, "You set me." Beautiful kill.
Crowd takes some speed off and uses her finesse to give Minnesota match point.
Crowd, great job. It is match point here at the pad. Not yet.
Everyone in the gym knew who that ball was going to. When Oregon needs a side out, they're going to turn to their 5th-year outside, Brooke Nunaviller. She is their hot hand. They are going to use her at any chance that they can get. They rely on her, and they're going to go to her late in sets and late in matches.
This is the rotation that Oregon wants to be in now. They've got their strongest server, Elise Ferreira, behind the service line. And Hugh McCutcheon and company are going to take a timeout, make them think about it.
Ice the server. Really good situation. Great strategy from Hugh McCutcheon. Icing her, hopefully hoping for the Gophers to go back there, nail a pass, one-and-done situation, get her off that back line as quickly as possible, hoping to set up another match point.
Fans on their feet at the pad, energized by this performance tonight by Landfair with a new career high.
And these fans have not sat down in a long time. They are excited to be here, excited to see this Minnesota team crawl back from a big deficit, down 10 to 15 in this set. They did the little things right. They've been executing. They're crawling their way back in this game. Had one match point, trying to push it to another.
Hugh McCutcheon talking with his team. They have really spread their offense out a lot more this year than they have in the past. But when it comes down to somebody like Taylor Landfair having a night, go with what's working.
In any situation right now, in system, out of system, I know who I'd set. It's Taylor Landfair, no question. You give her the ball and let her do her thing, especially coming off a ball that she just had where she got blocked. You know she's going to bring a lot more to this one.
61 swings for Landfair, a new career high, 28 kills. Big time serve by Ferreira, great pass. Free ball. Has to go to Nunaviller. Puts it on the floor, and it is now set point Ducks.
Nunaviller switching it up, has gone for hard rips this entire game. So that's what Minnesota was expecting, but you throw in the tip, let it fall.
If you're Minnesota, who are you setting?
Taylor Landfair, No question.
If you're Oregon, who are you setting?
None better.
Yep, and a foot fault by Ferreira. It's a good call. I like Ferreira's attitude. She's on to the next point.
Yeah, she's already wiped that one away. She's looking at her hitter saying, I got it, my bad. I will give you a good ball this time.
10-second goldfish memory. There you go. What's the call? A net violation.
Back-to-back errors for the Ducks to put Minnesota at match point.
Unforced errors.
We talked about it late in this match. You asked me at 19-19, what is it going to take to pull this one out? And it's the little things. It's the unforced errors. It's staying out of the net. It's not having those foot faults. The little things that you have to do late in sets to get the job done. And unforced errors, they're not going to do it. Whether it's a missed serve, it doesn't matter what it is. You have to play clean at the end, because when you're playing the #3 team in the country, they are not going to give you any easy points.
Does Matt Ulmer think his player did not touch the net? No. But he gets a timeout here because he's out of timeouts. He gets a timeout by using that challenge. If they go to a fifth, gets another challenge anyway.
Brooke Nunneveller looking at her teammates, repeatedly saying, right now. We settle down, we do this, we nail this pass right now.
Landfair's backcourt. Back to Brooke. She says, I want it again. That's high hand play. Down to the floor, Minnesota wins it, outlasting the Ducks.
Minnesota coming back, down 5, down 15-10, finds a way to crawl back in this match and tie it up, and eventually get the set and get the match. Incredible fight from this Minnesota team when their back is against the wall. This is how they respond, with fight and with grit.
We are going to talk to Taylor Landfair after this break. A career night for her and another win for the third-ranked team, Minnesota Gophers.